Zubair and everybody. Is it? Yeah. A pleasure to be here, and good morning, everyone. I'm Farzad Rahimian. I'm professor of digital engineering and manufacturing at ISARC University in UK, and I'm also lead for Center for Sustainable Engineering. I've been blessed for leading Smart and Sustainable Built Environment, which is now #2 journal in architecture field and topping very prestigious journals like ECAM, Construction Innovation, BRI. Also been working with automation in construction. I'm just leaving the journal because of being too busy with editorial, but it's still in the handover stage. And I would really appreciate if everyone who's not connected to me just scan the QR and connect to me, and would love to keep the link. Just a little bit of heads up, I will have a lot of QR codes in this presentation, so if you want to have your phone ready for any background information, that would be useful. Commercials are alert. If you would like to meet us in November in New Zealand, this is the conference we're running in collaboration with W116, which is one of the biggest working commissions of CIB. And also we have very prestigious keynote speakers aligned this conference. I believe 3 of them are in this room, and would love to see everyone in New Zealand in November. Okay, why do I have such a very convoluted title? It was blockchain, digital twins, multimodal, data-driven, everything. And this can tell a little bit of the background. Because of my role in the center, having 100 staff working in the center and being involved in several initiatives, this dragged me into so many projects that I somehow found myself in the position to have to contribute to the university and the center. And that just dragged me gradually from being an architect to construction, from construction to a digital engineer, and then from there to decarbonizing leader. So this is the story. So don't take me wrong if you see I'm just dragging from one place to another place. What happens in the Center for Sustainable Engineering in Teesside University? We are following exactly the same strategic pathways of government of UK and probably all over the world in terms of having the decarbonization and digitalization as 2 important pillars of development. And we are just, again, aligned with government strategies and policies. We made a new investment of £16.4 million as a starting point, and it will escalate to 50 million for our brand new Center for Net Zero Energy. And basically, we cover all the aspects we try to cover all the aspects of decarbonization, which are power, transportation, heat and building, hydrogen industry, CCU, and etc. I was having a chat with Alan yesterday, and there is a big consensus among everybody in this field, is that we cannot just focus on one thing and get ourselves busy with technology and forget what that technology brings to us unless we have that human dimension taken into account, and unless we see it as part of a big picture of what I'm doing and how it contributes to that big picture. In the center that I lead, we have these 4 main research groups: digital health and engineering, smart energy, hydrogen, and circular economy. And most of my works that I'm going to show you as much as I can, because Zubair cut another 5 minutes of my presentation before I start. So as much as I can, I try to cover them. So if you see the slides are passing a little bit too quick, blame Zubair, not me. So these are the critical mass and expertise that we have and the type of the projects we run in a nutshell at Teesside, and are more about larger energy scale integration and optimization, demand response optimization, again, which is our unique selling point in our collaboration with Horizon Europe projects. We worked with vertical and horizontal integration with the microgrids and the low-scale networks. So an introduction to our Reconstruct project. As this theme of this conference is about circularity, we are proud to be part of one of the two European projects on circular economy and circular construction we launched last year. And what we do in Reconstruct, our focus is on circular construction, on waste minimization, waste identification, and waste reuse. Because, as I believe, and my stats in the journal shows, the most prevailing theme for research, maybe for the next 10 years, is about how this digitalization is going to help the decarbonization and helping the integration to get rid of all these damages that our construction industry gives to the environment. If I pass to next slide, if I may. I always have problem with YouTube. Yeah. Our role in Reconstruct is we look after the social science and humanity part because it is, we believe, one of the most important ideas. Again, we were talking to Alan yesterday, and it's about the design logic versus the user logic. We as the designers, engineers, we have dreams about what we do, but what is on the user side? How do they perceive our solutions? And this is one of the biggest roles that we have in Reconstruct. We also look after AI for the detection of waste and quantification of waste, which is a very, very difficult task again for us because of the problem with manual labeling. Again, we're using advanced learning, we're using transfer learning to overcome this problem. And we also looking after integration with BIM for waste quantification and waste minimization. In terms of how I see my own work in terms of digitalization, we published a paper yesterday, and again, QR code is in here in Production and Planning Journal, which is a very popular journal. And basically looking at the technologies, what I try to emphasize before I go and show so much of tools and the toys is that when we're looking at the people process technology framework, what we see always is the technology is very visible, is very disruptive, distracting, but important parts are the people and process underneath and always most likely neglected. And again, referring back to Professor Bach's presentation yesterday, if we want to make a revolution, this is a revolution. We should really emphasize and focus on what our technology and tool is going to offer to people and improve their processes. One of the interesting projects down that line, as I showed this 3D, 4D, then digital twin and blockchain, and I'm just going in consequentially to cover some of them. One of our award-winning projects that we started in 2017 and happily still continuing working with the same company. Northcott is a timber frame manufacturer in very north of Scotland. With this project, we try to help the customer, who is a very savvy company with a lot of resources. They can triple their production without any penny investment, but they always have problem with procurement and recruitment of projects because they are very far. And for this is not a mass production cheap houses solution. This is a mid-range, they call it self-built, this kind of IKEA type. You get the kits and you put it together yourself. They always had problem with recruiting projects because it's not an easy task to convince a client who is investing £300,000-400,000 in buying a kit that they feel that this is going to my dream house without even having any idea by looking at these conventional architectural drawings. by use of open BIM and gamification technologies, that time we created a design calibrator similar to what you see in these days in the kitchen design manufacturers. They offer, you sit down with a mildly trained member of the staff, marketing staff, and they take you through the design, and you see everything. Once it's done, you get all the costing, all the features there. I passed that slide because I didn't want to miss this one, but I don't know if you noticed, all the components were showing underneath, all the price implication on the changes. And what happens is, again, we have this kind of the drag and drop modular for furnishing the space to give them a showroom feeling. And finally, we received two very prestigious awards in 2018 and 17 for this project. It was Innovation of the Year Award by Scottish Government and the Building Smart International's special distinction. As I said, we are continuing working with the same project, but in a different level. This is where we get into the digital twin stage. I was having a very, very nice and long chat with my very fellow senior colleague, Nick Nisbet. Probably most of you might know him. Nick is one of the fathers of digital, anything digital in the world. He led Building Smart for some time. He's leader of English-speaking chapter for Building Smart, and he is the creator of Singapore Planner. We were just wondering, because we were attending this digital permits conference. Everybody was talking about digital twin as if we had that 10 years ago, without even making any distinction. Well, okay, I still fail to understand how people claim that they have BIM adopted, but now people even claiming that they have adopted digital twin without even seeing any two bilateral data flow between their models. So what we see the digital twin is basically, most importantly, starting the definitions and the ontology setting, the structure of the digital twin, then IoT systems. Without IoT systems, okay. So basically, I have to then cut the other projects, then stick to this one. So basically what happens is, with the project stage that we are with Northcott and Hydratech, an IoT company, and the world-leading IES, what we have done, we have gone so far, we embedded the IoT devices in the kits, but being mindful of the user side, we don't want to escalate the price so much. So because Northcott's focus is on forever home, forever home, assisted living for elderly. So what happens? We have these IoTs embedded in the kits, and these are like plug and play. In the future, whoever wants to kick them in, they get the software and they get the SDK and apply that. This is going so far, as I said, it gives you the voice command and user feedback, monitoring, etc. One of the, as I mentioned, our unique selling points is the project that we call it ALEM, which is aggregated local energy management. We had this in our several European projects, from Dr. Bob to React to many other projects, and now we embedded in one of the bids. Hopefully it will be successful. And what happens is, again, as I mentioned, having an integrated but vertically and horizontally scalable system that gives you a full cloud integration, that you have that data provenance, not governance, and having the multiple networks of local energy management. Again, this was another project we did for Swan Timber producer company, which just to bring their optimize their energy use. And yeah, I have to really pass all of these, maybe in other conference. This was one of the most interesting works that we've been doing for so far. This is the world's second longest city tunnel, Stockholm bypass. We, with our client, we've done for their client is a full digital twin of the tunnel. It is data-driven, and it shows all the components. You have the IoT connection to the barriers, to the cameras, to everything, and even the signs. They could be controlled. Now, this is for predictive maintenance and inspection. It shows the if the information of the panel, a camera is missing, snapshot, and this has been a game changer for the client. They told that they saved €1 million last year only because they had this is in their project reviews without having to stop the tunnel and take their trainees to the site. If I pass it a little bit quickly, this has this X-ray mechanism for showing what is underneath, for controlling the signs, for prioritizing the routes. What is prioritizing, I'll show you in the next slide. As a byproduct of this project, again, we started another project for prioritizing bus routes, which is when you have data, you can use it. And this is one of the things that we've been doing with this project. We have the bus GPS data, we have the bus stops, and we have the junctions. And what we've done is we segmented the bus route, and we analyzed the data, and we managed to have some exploratory analysis of the delays and the journey times. And what we did, this is the prediction and the visualization of the length of each segment for the bus, and we managed to do optimization by prioritizing the paths. Imagine if I see that I have a lot of delay on this route, I can just control the traffic lights and allow the bus the route to be faster. So adding to, this is a trade-off, adding to the traffic of the other side, but cutting from the one which is critical. We had another project in a very nutshell for use of AI for image processing for warehouse management and logistics optimization, because so many problems happen in the food delivery. And again, without going into detail, happy to discuss it in the Q&A. Had another groundbreaking project already published in Automation in Construction and another good journal. And this work, we had the few shot learning problem. We had another best paper yesterday presenting almost the same concept. When we have problem of scarcity of data, how do we manage it? We had we use this system for heritage preservation. We drone scanned several heritage sites, and we try to extract the DNA from these sites by a discriminative machine. And just if any interest, please have a look at the papers and around that. Happy to have a discussion. And finally, large language processing and natural language processing is one of the newest streams that we started working on. Already had a very good, successful project with a roof design company. And what happens is they have a lot of correspondence and their roof design between the designers, with the client, etc. But what happens, hundreds of design hours is spent to read these emails, extract the information. What about using simple language libraries or even ChatGPT to extract this information from the PDFs from email and bring it to the forefront of the designer? Project, as I said, it's been successful. We are signing a contract for another longer one. And my most favorite theme is immersive technologies for health and safety training, which is again been partnering with several companies and institutes for this type of research. This one is a very interesting one because the company that we're working, Faraday Training Center, they give training to whoever you can think of, the big players in the world in terms of electronics and electrics, from Cisco to Siemens to whoever. But the problem with this kind of high voltage and high risk applications, first of all, the risk is very high. Second, the switch gears themselves are very hard to acquire, even if you're prepared to pay hundreds of thousands of pounds. With this, we made a digital twin of every asset, and we are making, and we are putting the curriculum on the game engine, and people, the trainees, have a chance to play with the, we're even taking into account the haptic devices to just have a full feeling of, full immersive feeling of, as if they are playing with a few £100,000 switch gear. And once they've done that, they can just only use the real switch gear for certification. I stop here. Again, thank you so much for your patience. And thank you, for your patience.